William Sarsfield McNary was a U.S. Representative from Massachusetts. Early years. McNary was born in Abington, Massachusetts. McNary attended the public schools of Abington and graduated from the Boston English High School. He engaged in newspaper work. Journalism career. McNary was a reporter and managing editor of the Boston Commercial Bulletin from 1880 to 1892. Business career. McNary engaged in the insurance business and dealt in real estate. Early public service career. Boston Common Council. McNary served as member of the City of Boston Common Council in 1887 and 1888. Massachusetts Legislature. McNary served in the Massachusetts Legislature as a member of the Massachusetts House of Representatives from 1889 to 1890 and from 1900 to 1902 and as a member of the Massachusetts Senate from 1891 to 1892. Boston Water Board. In 1893, Judge Robert Grant resigned his position on the Boston Water Board. In July 1893, McNary was appointed by Mayor Matthews to fill the vacancy. McNary's appointment was confirmed by the Board of Aldermen and he served as a member of the Water Board from 1893 to 1894. Democratic State Committee. McNary was Secretary of the Democratic State Committee from 1898 to 1900 and served as the Chairman of the committee from 1900 to 1904. Democratic National Conventions. McNary was an alternate delegate at large to the Democratic National Convention in 1892. And as an at-large delegate to the Democratic National Convention in 1900 and was also a delegate in 1904. Congressional career. Congressional elections. In 1892 and 1894, McNary was the Democratic nominee for Congress in Massachusetts' 10th Congressional District. He was unsuccessful in both of these elections. At the time, the Massachusetts' 10th Congressional District consisted of South Boston, Roxbury, Dorchester, the city of Quincy and the town of Milton. Although he was the official nominee of the Democratic Party, McNary lost the 1892 election to independent Democratic candidate Michael J. McEtrick. That contest was a four-way race between McNary, McEtrick, Harrison Atwood the Republican nominee and independent Republican candidate Richard C. Humphreys. McNary came in third behind Atwood and the winner McEtrick. McNary again was the official nominee of the Democratic Party in the 1894 general election. McNary ran against incumbent Congressman independent Democratic candidate Michael J. McEtrick, Republican nominee Harrison H. Atwood, independent Republican candidate Frederick W. Peabody and Socialist candidate Michael D. Fitzgerald of Lynn. In this five-way race, McNary lost the 1894 election to Atwood. McNary was elected as a Democrat to the 58th and 59th Congresses. McNary was not a candidate for re-nomination in 1906. 1902 election. In 1902, the incumbent Congressman Henry F. Nathan wanted to run again. However, McNary, who was chairman of the Democratic State Committee, wanted the nomination and McNary forced Nathan to retire from the race. As McNary controlled the apparatus of the district's Democratic Party, Nathan decided to quietly drop out of the race rather than after a fight. In the 1902 general election, McNary, as the nominee of the Democratic Party, faced Republican nominee William W. Toll and Socialist candidate John Weaver Sherman. McNary won the election with a 6,195 vote plurality over the second-place candidate William W. Toll. 1904 election. In the 1904 election, McNary was again the nominee of the Democratic Party. In the general election, he faced Republican nominee J. B. Crawford and Socialist candidate W. T. Richards. McNary won the election, receiving 19,211 votes to 12,740 votes for Crawford and 1,572 votes for Richards. In 1910, McNary ran as a candidate for the 62nd Congress. He sought the Democrat nomination for the Massachusetts 10th Congressional District, against Boston City Councilor James Michael Curley and incumbent Congressman Joseph F. O'Connell. In the primary election, McNary came in third behind Curley and O'Connell. Business career. McNary continued his business pursuits in Boston, Massachusetts. McNary retired from Congress in 1907 to form the Drake and Hershey Company, a company that dealt in furniture. In 1915, McNary was one of the founders of the Hanover Trust and was also one of its directors. Later public service. Massachusetts Harbor and Land Commission. In 1912, Massachusetts Governor Foss appointed McNary a commissioner of the Massachusetts Harbor and Land Commission. He served as its chairman for 4 years. Boston Port Directors. McNary was an associate member of the Boston Port Directors for 2 years. Waterways and Public Lands Commission. In 1916, Governor McCall appointed McNary as a member of the Waterways and Public Lands Commission. Death and burial. McNary died in Boston on June 26, 1930, and he was interred in St. Joseph's Cemetery, West Roxbury, Massachusetts. Bibliography. A catalogue of the city councils of Boston, 1822 to 1908, Roxbury, 1846 to 1867, Charlestown, 1847 to 1873, and of the selectmen of Boston, 1634 to 1822, also of various other town and municipal offices. Boston, Massachusetts. City of Boston Printing Department, pp. 276 to 277. Bacon, Edwin Monroe, The Book of Boston, 50 Years Recollections of the New England Metropolis, p. 193. Bridgman, Arthur Milner, A Souvenir of Massachusetts Legislators, pp. 180 to 181. Official Congressional Directory of William S. McNary from 1904. Official Congressional Directory of William S. McNary from 1906. United States Congress. William S. McNary. Biographical Directory of the United States Congress. This article incorporates public domain material from websites or documents of the Biographical Directory of the United States Congress.